Okay, so there was a Democratic senator yesterday that decided to barge into a meeting that Kristi Noem was having, and without telling anybody who he was, decides to barge in, thinking that he was just some civilian trying to just stir something up and cause, a riot. They quickly grabbed him and threw him out of the room, and apparently they handcuffed him to detain him, to restrain him, and then got him out of there. And then just to find out that he was a Democratic senator. So let's see what things unfolded because of this incident that was recorded and blasted all over the media. The truth is coming out. So let's check it out.
Mr. President, I just saw something that sickened my stomach. The manhandling of a United States senator. We need immediate answers to what the hell went on.
How can these federal agents get away with this? Is the President of the United States telling folks to go down and start arresting United States senators?
Thank you very much. It's good to have you with us today. We all saw what happened in the video of that room when he was physically taken out, and you heard just now his response, and I understand you had a personal conversation with him as well. So what do you want to say about all of this?
You know, what I would say is we were conducting a press conference to update everyone on the enforcement actions that are ongoing to bring peace to the city of Los Angeles. And this man burst into the room, started lunging towards the podium, interrupting me and elevating his voice, and was stopped, did not identify himself, and was removed from the room. So as soon as he identified himself, appropriate actions were taken.
He did not identify himself, which tells me this guy in his political seat is not of importance. He has not accomplished anything to be of an important person in government. That's sad. You should not be in your political seat.
I would say that, I had a conversation with the senator after this. We sat down for 10 to 15 minutes and talked about the fact that nobody knew who he was. He didn't say who he was, that until he was already had been lunging forward and people were trying to detain him for quite a period of time. And that this, we're leaders, we're public servants. And if he had requested a meeting, I would have loved to have sat down and had a conversation with him. That coming into a press conference like this is political theater. It's wrong, and it does a disservice to this country and the people who live here. So we sat down, had a conversation. We probably disagree on 90% of the topics, but we agreed to exchange phone numbers. We'll continue to talk and share information, and I think that's the way it should be in this country. I wish he would have acted that way in the beginning instead of creating a scene like this.
Well, you're saying that nobody knew who he was, and if they did, he would have been treated differently. And you just heard his comment. He said, if this is the way they treat a U.S. senator, you can only imagine how others are being treated in these deportation efforts. What would you say to that, Secretary?
Yeah. I think his statement is absolutely ridiculous. This man burst into a room, started advancing towards the podium, interrupting an opening statement, elevating his voice, shouting questions. People tried to stop him from interrupting the press conference. He refused and continued to lunge towards the podium, and that is when he was removed from the room. So the way that he acted was completely inappropriate. It wasn't becoming a U.S. senator or a public official, and perhaps he wanted the scene, and that's what he wanted. But I think the American people are sick of this kind of action. I think the American people are tired of this. They just want the truth, and they just want to know what's happening, and that's what we were trying to provide. Well, he was never arrested. And he nobody knew who he was when he came into the room creating a scene. He was removed from the room, and yes, they started to put handcuffs on him when he finally identified himself, and then that was stopped. They said he wants to talk to you. I said, sure, I'd love to sit down and visit. So we went to a room and visited for 10 or 15 minutes and then exchanged phone numbers. So I just, I'm so sick of the politics, Martha. This is literally people's lives. We have criminal gangs and terrorists out on our streets that we're trying to remove from Los Angeles. I mean, people just need to get over themselves and have the backs of law enforcement and this president who just want to clean up America and make it safe again.
AOC, get over yourself. You heard it from Kristi Noem. She was cool, calm, and collective. Got her points across. Hey, this is what happened. A, B, C, D, E. This gentleman came in. X coming through. going crazy, speaking loudly, trying to ask some questions. Okay, you can do this in a calmly fashion. You don't have to barge in, act crazy and stupid like all the people that are out there in LA streets and all the streets in America right now, because it's happening everywhere in America now. And honestly, I'm not going to be surprised if President Trump initiates martial law for a lot of these major cities where people are not peacefully protesting. If you're going to act stupid, the laws come in town, and they're going to handle the situation to disperse people back into their homes. Act right, be right in America. That's what we want. We want peace. And these people, these type of people that are barging in, I mean, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. You're not getting your point across. I've said this in other videos. And Kristi Noem, she was a perfect person to be appointed as Homeland Security Secretary, because she's handling business. She's traveling to certain places in the country, in the world, and really finding out what her duties and responsibilities are to help protect this nation. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Like and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Until next time, peace out, everybody.